You just know a tool channel is bursting with ideas when it starts testing vacuum cleaners. On this episode, we have the new Silvercrest by Lidl, powered by Parkside. We've got the new cordless handheld Parkside vacuum cleaner, and we've got a Phillips cordless vacuum cleaner. First up, we've got the cheapest option from Parkside. It does not include a battery or a charger. So in order to use it, of course, you need to get a battery and a charger. In this case, a 4-amp battery with which the claimed runtime is about half an hour. If you already own a Parkside battery, and with the price of this and its small size, it could turn out to be the ideal vacuum cleaner for cleaning your car. This only has a single mode, and I think it's a bit on the noisier side. This is the Silvercrest 20-volt Cyclone handheld vacuum cleaner. It comes with a 4-amp battery. However, the charger is not one of these. Instead, the charger is this. Plugs in straight into the vacuum cleaner. And instead of it being a 4-amp and being able to charge up the 4-amp battery in an hour, it is a 0.8 amp charger. That means that with this charger, you can charge up the 4-amp battery in about 5 hours. And this is the Phillips 3000 series, a 2-amp 25.2 volt battery. However, the Phillips batteries are quite a lot more expensive than the Parkside batteries. And this Phillips also comes with a painfully slow charger, and it takes about 5 hours to charge this battery as well. Noise test on both the Silvercrest and the Phillips will be on Eco and their turbo mode. Phillips noise test.
So it turns out that the noisiest of the three is the Parkside. In second place, the Silvercrest, and the quietest vacuum cleaner of the three is the Phillips.
In terms of attachments, the Parkside is nothing special. They just slide on. On the Silvercrest and Phillips, as you would expect, things are far more advanced because the attachments, well, they clip into place. As you just saw, the mechanism used on the Silvercrest is a lot easier to work with. Now, let's have a look on the other side. This is what you get with the Parkside up top, the Silvercrest on the right, and the Phillips on the left. The brush on the Phillips is quite smooth. The one on the Silvercrest is a bit more abrasive, whereas the Parkside, well, it really doesn't have one. So in this case, I would say that the Silvercrest would be the better option if you're trying to scoop up some hairs from a dog or a cat from a carpet. The Parkside, again, is nothing fancy, whereas the Phillips and the Silvercrest both have lights on the front of them. Time for some testing. With their pipes fitted, let's see how long they take to suck up this solid material from this cup. Parkside going first in its one lonely mode. And the Parkside has a flap on the inside in order to prevent any spillage. Not bad for about 20 euros, is it? And I just found out the hard way that the Phillips does not have the return flap that the Parkside has. Great. Thanks, Phillips. Worth the 250 euros. The Silvercrest for about 100 euros has a flap which will stop rubbish returning on the floor, whereas The Phillips for €250 does not have that. Be ashamed, Phillips. Be very, very ashamed. Phillips was not very impressive, was it? The Silvercrest and Phillips were both on eco mode, whereas the Parkside only has a single mode. So, somewhat surprisingly, I would say that the Parkside did best of all. Out of the Phillips and the Silvercrest has a lot more power, it seems, on the eco mode. Also, another thing that has to be said about the attachments on these vacuum cleaners is that because of the way they are, for example, the Parkside one, you can't really use on a carpet. The Silvercrest, on the other hand, is absolutely phenomenal on a carpet because it just grabs whatever you're trying to vacuum and it pushes it into the vacuum. Whereas the Phillips is, I would say, somewhere in between. It sort of pushes what you're trying to vacuum in front of the vacuum cleaner. So it always stays there and it can't really get sucked in. So yeah, that is not a very good investment. Sorry to the ones who bought it. Unfortunately, I have one. So the bottom line then. Well, somewhat surprisingly, there is a cheap and cheerful option here, and it is the Silvercrest. I find it a lot better value for money than the Phillips. The Phillips, I would say, is like an influencer. A lot on the outside and next to nothing on the inside. The Parkside is a lot like a blue-collar worker. It just gets the job done. Whereas the Silvercrest can do everything.